Welcome back to the channel Official History of Coins. Today, we are taking a fascinating journey into American history, discovering the stories, symbols, and hidden possibilities behind something that may have been sitting unnoticed for decades. Let's get started. This video is about one coin only, the United States 1776, 1976 Bicentennial Washington Quarter. So if you have a quarter carrying the famous dual date 1776, 1976, stay with me because we are going to explore its history, design, varieties, mint marks, special errors, and the highest prices that exceptional examples can bring. This quarter was created to celebrate a gigantic milestone in American history, the 200th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. Instead of using an ordinary single year, the United States Mint placed the historic dual date 1776, 1976 on the coin to connect the birth of the nation with its bicentennial celebration. The coin carries the famous profile of George Washington on the obverse. Washington was the first president of the United States, and his portrait had already become one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. The obverse also carries the words liberty and in God we trust, along with the special 1776, 1976 date. That dual date immediately tells collectors that this is a bicentennial issue rather than an ordinary Washington quarter. But turn the coin over, and you discover the design that makes this quarter truly special. Instead of the traditional eagle normally associated with the Washington quarter, the bicentennial reverse features a colonial drummer facing left. Behind and around the drummer is a torch surrounded by 13 stars, representing the original 13 colonies. The reverse design was created by Jack L.R. The design was chosen specifically for the bicentennial celebration and became one of the most recognizable American commemorative circulating coin designs of the 20th century. There is another interesting detail about this issue that many people do not realize. The bicentennial quarters were struck during both 1975 and 1976, but they all carry the same 1776, 1976 dual date. That means you will not find a regular 1975 dated bicentennial quarter. This decision allowed the Mint to celebrate the anniversary across the production period while keeping the historic dual date on every example. The quarter was produced in different versions and compositions, and this is where the story becomes much more interesting for collectors. Philadelphia produced approximately 809,784,016 regular clad examples, while Denver produced approximately 860,118,839 regular clad examples. Those huge production numbers are important because collectors need to look beyond the date alone when searching for exceptional value. The Philadelphia version normally has no mint mark. The Denver version carries a D mint mark, and San Francisco produced special collector versions. San Francisco produced both clad-proof coins and special 40% silver-clad versions. Some silver versions were made for collectors rather than ordinary circulation, making the mint mark and composition important clues when examining your coin. Now comes one of the biggest questions collectors ask. What makes a 1776, 1976 bicentennial quarter valuable? The answer is not simply the date. Collectors pay close attention to condition, mint mark, composition, proof status, strike quality, varieties, and especially major mint errors. A beautifully preserved example can be far more interesting than a heavily worn example. Professional grading can also make a major difference because a certified high-grade coin gives buyers a clearer idea of its condition. The highest grades are where the numbers can become extremely exciting. Current PCGS price guide information lists some top-grade regular-clad bicentennial quarters at values reaching several $1,000s, depending on the specific mint and grade. For example, the PCGS guide lists a 1976 Philadelphia clad example at up to $4,500 in its highest listed grade, and a 1976 D-clad example at up to $3,750. But remember, these figures represent guide values for specific grades and are not a guarantee that every quarter will sell for those amounts. The exact coin, certification, appeal, variety, and marketplace can all influence the final selling price. There are also spectacular error coins that can take the story into a completely different price range. One remarkable 1976 S-clad bicentennial proof was struck multiple times, producing a dramatic off-center multi-impression error. PCGS records show that this extraordinary coin sold for $6,038 at auction in November 2010. That is an important lesson for every collector. Sometimes the extraordinary value is not simply because of the date, but because something unusual happened when the coin was manufactured. Another area worth checking is double-die varieties. A documented 1976 DFS1 01 double-die obverse example has appeared in the market, and one recorded sale reached $29.99. Major off-center strikes can also attract serious collector attention. Coin World records a 1976 clad Bicentennial Quarter struck approximately 45% off-center that sold for $264, while another 15% off-center example sold for $132. These examples show why collectors should examine the entire coin carefully rather than looking only at the date. The silver versions are another exciting part of the bicentennial story. Some San Francisco Bicentennial Quarters were produced with a 40% silver composition, and these can be identified through their specifications and mint-marked collector issues. A silver Bicentennial Quarter can have an entirely different collector story from a regular copper-nickel-clad circulation piece. Proof coins are also worth checking. Proof coins were specially produced for collectors with polished planchets and specially prepared dies, giving them a distinctive appearance. A regular-looking quarter from circulation and a pristine proof coin may look similar to someone unfamiliar with coins, but collectors know that their production methods and collecting markets can be very different. Condition is another major factor. A coin that has spent decades moving through pockets, cash registers, and coin jars will normally show considerably more wear than a coin that was protected from the beginning. If your bicentennial quarter has sharp details, strong luster, minimal contact marks, and excellent overall preservation, it deserves closer attention. The drummer boy design is especially important because the reverse contains many details that can help you judge the quality of the strike. Look closely at the drummer, the lettering, the torch, and the surrounding stars. Strong, clean details can make a high-grade example much more appealing to collectors. You should also inspect the date area and the Washington portrait on the obverse. Look for unusual doubling, distorted lettering, abnormal edges, or other features that appear to be part of the manufacturing process rather than ordinary damage. One of the most important lessons is to distinguish a genuine mint error from damage that happened after the coin left the mint. A coin can become scratched, bent, scraped, stained, or damaged during circulation. Those problems generally should not be confused with genuine mint errors. A real mint error occurs during the manufacturing process, and major authenticated errors can command significantly stronger prices. This is why professional authentication and grading can be extremely important when you believe you have discovered an unusual example. The value of a 1976 bicentennial quarter can therefore range from an interesting collectible piece to a highly valuable certified rarity, depending on exactly what you have. For ordinary examples, the value may be modest, But the real excitement comes when you discover an exceptional grade, a scarce composition, a dramatic proof error, a major die variety, or another authenticated mint-made error. That is why I always recommend checking your coins carefully before spending them. Imagine finding a Bicentennial Quarter that looks almost perfect, only to discover that it has an unusual variety or an important mint error. That small piece of metal could suddenly become much more interesting to collectors. And this is exactly why the 1976 quarter remains such an exciting coin for treasure hunters today. The coin is more than 25 cents. It is a physical reminder of America's bicentennial celebration and a piece of American history that millions of people have handled over the decades. The historical story alone makes it an attractive addition to a collection, but exceptional examples can become much more valuable when rarity, condition, and unusual mint characteristics come together. So, what is the maximum value you should keep in mind? For extraordinary examples, auction records show that exceptional bicentennial quarters have reached thousands of dollars. One spectacular 1976 S-clad proof error reached $6,038, while high-grade regular-clad examples can also reach several $1,000s according to current PCGS guide figures. That means you should never judge your quarter simply by looking at a common example online. The exact variety and grade matter enormously. Before selling a potentially rare quarter, take clear photographs of both sides, check the mint mark, examine the edge, and compare the coin with reliable numismatic references. If you believe the coin has a major error or is in exceptional condition, professional grading may be worth considering because certification can help establish authenticity and condition for serious buyers. And if you eventually decide to sell, do not rush into the first offer you receive. Compare recent auction results for the same variety and grade, because the difference between an ordinary example and a rare certified example can be enormous. The most exciting part of collecting is the possibility of discovery. You do not need to begin with an expensive collection. Sometimes the journey begins with a coin already sitting in an old collection, family box, jar, or drawer. So the next time you see a United States quarter marked 1976, stop for a moment and take a closer look. Check Washington's portrait, inspect the dual date, study the drummer reverse, look for the mint mark, examine the condition, and search carefully for unusual characteristics. One small detail can completely change the story of a coin. The 1976 Bicentennial Washington Quarter is one of America's most memorable modern quarters, and its combination of history, patriotic design, multiple compositions, collector versions, and fascinating errors gives collectors plenty of reasons to keep searching. And remember, the coin you have in your hand may not be identical in value to another bicentennial quarter. Grade, variety, mint mark, composition, and authentication can all make a major difference. So keep searching your old coins, check your collections carefully, and never ignore an unusual bicentennial quarter. If you enjoyed this journey through American coin history, make sure you stay with the channel for more rare and valuable coins, fascinating mint errors, historic designs, and hidden treasures that could be waiting in collections around the world. And before you spend that next 1976 quarter, give it one more careful look. You might be holding a piece of American history with a much more interesting story than you expected. Next, coin the 1986 Washington Quarter. You have one in your hand, or maybe it's sitting in a jar, forgotten. You are about to discover why this specific quarter is not just 25 cents, but a potential treasure that could be worth a fortune. We are going to dive deep into its history, its current market value, and most importantly, its explosive future potential. This is the coin that collectors are quietly hunting for, and you need to know why. First, let's talk about the rich history behind this coin. The Washington Quarter series began in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design we see today, featuring the first president on the obverse and a heraldic eagle on the reverse, was crafted by the artist John Flanagan. In 1986, the Philadelphia Mint, denoted by the P Mint mark, struck a massive number of these quarters for circulation. A total of 551,199,333 of these coins were produced. This high mintage number is a key piece of information that many people use to dismiss the coin's value, but that is a huge mistake. This is where the real story of potential begins. The sheer volume of over 500 million coins minted means that the vast majority of them are common and only worth their face value of 25 cents. However, a coin's value is not solely determined by its mintage. It is dictated by a combination of rarity, condition, and demand. While 551 million is a large number, the number of these coins that have survived in pristine, uncirculated condition is incredibly small. Over the past 40 years, these coins have been used in commerce, lost, damaged, and worn down. Finding one that looks like it just left the mint is a rare event. So what is the current value of your 1986 P quarter? This is the most exciting part because the value varies wildly based on its condition. According to the NGC price guide, a circulated 1986 P quarter is worth between 30 cents and 85 cents. But don't let that low number discourage you. That is just the starting point. We are not interested in average coins. We are interested in the exceptional ones. For coins in mint state or uncirculated condition, the value starts to climb significantly. One source indicates that uncirculated examples typically sell for $1 to $3. However, that is just the baseline for an uncirculated coin. As the quality and grade of the coin increases, so does its value exponentially. According to the PCGS price guide, the value range for these coins can go from $1 all the way up to a staggering $3,000. The coin's grade is everything. Imagine holding a coin that is worth $625. That's what an uncirculated 1986 P quarter can sell for in pristine condition. But that is just one piece of the puzzle. The real eye-popping numbers come from the highest grades. The current value range for mint state coins is listed between $1 and $2,760, depending on the grade. This proves that the potential for a massive return on your 25-cent investment is very real. Now let's talk about the record-breaking sales that have already happened. The record price for a 1986 P Washington quarter belongs to a single coin that was sold at a heritage auction sale for a phenomenal $2,880. Let that sink in. A quarter that cost 25 cents to make sold for nearly $3,000. This is not speculation. This is a fact. This sale proves that there is a serious market for high-quality examples of this coin. The coin that sold for $2,880 was graded Mint State 67 by the Professional Coin Grading Service. In numismatics, the grade is everything. The PCGS price guide currently lists a value range of $1 to $3,000 for the 1986 P quarter. This means that the maximum potential value right now, based on the current market, is around $3,000. This is the price that the absolute best examples of this coin can command. This is the benchmark. This is what you are aiming for. The fact that a coin has already sold for close to this amount confirms that this is not an unrealistic number. But we are not just here to talk about today. We are here to talk about the future. The question you are all asking is, can it be valuable in the future? The answer is a resounding yes. The trajectory of coin collecting shows that as time passes, coins in pristine condition become even more difficult to find. The 1986 P quarter is now 40 years old. As the years go by, more and more of these coins will be lost or damaged, making the surviving high-grade specimens even rarer. This is basic supply and demand. Furthermore, the hobby of coin collecting is growing. Every year, new collectors enter the market, and they all want to own pieces of history. The 1986 P quarter is a classic design that is part of a beloved and long-running series. It is a piece of Americana. This enduring demand is a powerful force that will continue to drive prices upward. Many experts predict that the value of top-tier examples of this coin will only increase over the next decade and beyond. Now here is where the value can truly explode. We haven't even talked about era coins yet. The 1986 P quarter is known to have several valuable mint errors that make it worth a small fortune. If you have a coin with a doubled die obverse error, where the lettering appears doubled, it can be worth between $20 and $300. An off-center strike error can also fetch a high price. These error coins are incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors, making them a fantastic investment. A common circulated coin with a recognizable error can be worth $50, $100, or even $200 or more. Imagine finding an error coin in your pocket change. It happens more often than you think. Collectors have found 1986 P quarters with doubled dies, clipped planchets, and other fascinating errors. These coins are not just valuable, they are unique pieces of minting history. The potential to find one of these rare errors is yet another reason why this coin is so exciting. It's a common misconception that high mintage numbers mean a coin is worthless. This is simply not true. For every 551 million coins minted, only a tiny fraction are in gem condition. The PCGS has graded only a few dozen of these coins at the highest levels. This extreme scarcity at the top of the grading scale is what creates the incredible value. The high mintage actually works in favor of the coin's future value, because it means that the pool of potential high-grade coins is being depleted every single day as they are lost or worn down. So how high can the maximum value go? We have already seen a sale at $2,880. The current PCGS value range suggests a maximum of $3,000. It is not unrealistic to think that within the next 10 to 20 years, a perfect, gem-quality 1986 P quarter could sell for $5,000 or even more at auction. As the decades pass and the number of pristine examples continues to dwindle, collectors will be willing to pay a premium for the best of the best. The record price set in 2019 will be broken. This is where you come in. This is your opportunity. The 1986 P quarter is a sleeping giant in the coin world. It is often overlooked because of its high mintage, but the smart collectors, the ones who do their research, know its true potential. They know that finding a high-grade example is like finding a needle in a haystack. They are the ones who will be rewarded in the future. Do not underestimate the value of this coin. Whether it is a standard high-grade uncirculated coin or a rare era variety, the 1986 P quarter has the potential to be a significant asset. It is a tangible piece of history that you can hold in your hand. It is a conversation starter and a potential investment. The next time you see a 1986 P quarter, do not just spend it. Look at it closely. Examine it under a magnifying glass. Check the condition. Look for any signs of wear. Does it have a sharp, clear strike? Are all the details on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers still visible? If it looks like it has never been used, you could be holding a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. This is the thrill of the hunt. This is what makes coin collecting so exciting. You are not just looking at a piece of metal. You are looking at a potential payday. The history is there, the current value is proven, and the future potential is massive. The 1986 P Washington Quarter is a testament to the fact that value can be found in the most unexpected places. It is a coin that defies the odds and rewards the observant. In conclusion, the 1986 P Quarter is valuable now, and it will be even more valuable in the future. Its current maximum value can reach $3,000 with the potential to grow much higher. Its history is rich, its demand is constant, and its future is bright. This is not just a coin, it is an opportunity. Go check your change, search your old coin jars, and you might just find a treasure that will pay for your next vacation or secure your financial future. The 1986 P Quarter is a coin that deserves your respect and your attention. It is a true American classic with a value that is only just beginning to be realized.